Hello, everybody. I'm Tima Bansal. I'm the chair of the Prime Advisory Board, and I just wanted to give you a very warm welcome for joining us, I think, on this very exciting session. We're presenting the Prime Faculty Teaching Award winners, but this is not just about recognizing their amazing contributions. It's also to hear from them directly about what makes their work really sing in the classroom. So this is a very exciting event and one that I'm sure glad that I get to listen to as well. So with that, why don't I start with just giving you a little bit of background on the awards themselves. It's to recognize faculty members for their creativity, their commitment to the SDGs, their ability to develop skills in students, and the fact that what they teach in the classroom can also be applied across contexts, isn't very specific to their unique contexts. I think it's important that reinforces our teach principle at Prime. As some of you might know, we refreshed these principles a year ago, and we're really proud of this one. This is at the heart of what we do at Prime. And it's to transform our learning environments by integrating responsible management concepts and practices into our curriculum and pedagogy. We have 4 categories of winners. We have 2 in management because management's huge. Accounting and finance, marketing, operations, and analytics. And what you'll hear from in this session is not me, but all these fabulous winners who we haven't yet announced. I will in a minute. One thing that makes me very excited about this group of winners is that they do represent the world. And so it's not to bias in one specific context, it's very much representative of our global community. And if you haven't applied before, or you applied and you didn't win this time, please apply next year. So the applications open up in January. So with that, if I can, before I get to the winners, I want to do one more announcement. If you can go to the next slide, is I want to tell you about the Case Study Award. The award that we're honoring at the moment right now in Prime is for faculty members, but there's also many people who write fabulous case studies. And so what we wanted to do at Prime in partnership with Ivy Publishing is to have a case study award as well. Any discipline, you can submit for any discipline, recognizing that many case studies cut across disciplines, and the submissions open as well in January, and they close in February. So it's about the same timing as our faculty award. So please keep that in mind. Okay, on to the next slide. And this is our drum roll, and I get to announce the winners. This is the best job of all. And after I announce the winners, then we will hear from each of the winners one by one. So, and the winners are, next slide. Very excited to say that Andy Hoffman, who's at the University of Michigan, the Ross School of Business, has won in the management category. The next one. FGV has won as well in the management category, and it's a fabulous group of scholars and people who are local partners, and is led by Fernanda Carrera. So congratulations to them. In the accounting and finance category, really proud to say that Lucy Diala at California State University, Fresno, has won in this category. And the next one, in marketing, we have a team of 3, all of whom are also present. And it's Kathleen, Reka, and Marta, and I'm sticking with first names only for obvious reasons. And they won in the marketing category, as I said, from the University of Budapest. Finally, one more. In operations and analytics, really proud to announce that we're going to go with Professor Bala. That's Bala Subramaniam at Goa Institute of Management is our winners. So congratulations to them all. We get to hear from each one of them individually now. So I will introduce the first speaker. Andy Hoffman is our first speaker. And Andy, over to you.
Hi, Tima, and hello, everybody. I hope you can hear me. A jet just went overhead just as I got started. I'm going to begin with a quote from Mark Twain. Mark Twain had a wonderful line. He said, "The two most important days in your life are the day you were born and the day you find out why." And so the course I'm getting awarded for here is called Management as a Calling, and is designed to help students find that second day. Why are they here? And in particular, why are they in business school? What kind of manager do they want to be? What kind of legacy do they want to have? I think that the timing of this course is critically important. Business schools have typically drawn a different kind of student. There is research to show that students who apply to business school score high on the dark triad, score high on Machiavellianism, narcissism, and sociopathy. And there's also research to show that business schools traditionally accentuate those traits and make people more selfish and more concerned about what others think of them. But there's also a change going on. I see the students coming to business school now to be having a very different attitude, a different mentality, and they're really open and receptive to this idea of a calling or a purpose in their life. And so that's what I'm doing with this course. I'm trying to help them along on that path. How do I do it? I do it in a very unusual and different way. I've gotten along in my career, so I can start to take some risks, and the dean will let me go with it. But I take the students on 2 weekend retreats. I take them out into the woods. There's a biological station that the University of Michigan has about 4 hours away in the woods. I take away their cell phones. I take away their computers. They're in nature and they're away from social media. And there's plenty of research to show that social media distracts us. We're not present when it's there. And it also eliminates possibilities for creativity, which actually happen in moments of boredom. And so I do that, and I also take them into the woods because there's research to show that our stress hormones go down when we're in nature. And so this is a wonderful environment to put people into a context where they will start to examine who they are and why are they here, and in fact, why are they in business school. There are 4 parts of it. We do readings, inspirational readings. We do guided exercises, very, very personal exercises. We do quiet reflection. They go from walks in the woods, and community. You don't do this by yourself, you do it with a group. And I take them from Friday afternoon till Sunday night, and I take them through a series of exercises where they examine their past. When were they thriving? Where were they strongest? What are the commonalities with that? Look at their present. What is their value statement? Who are they? What values do they care about? And look at their future. What kind of a legacy do I want to leave? And I actually have them write their own obituary, which students find tremendously powerful. From that, they have now written the arc of their life. They are at the beginning of it, but there is a path to it. Those of us who are older understand that life is very short, and that arc makes more sense when you're towards the end of it. I want students to understand that the arc is there even when they're at the beginning of it, and they don't guide it. They're going to end up someplace perhaps where they were not meant to be. Out of that, they write a personal mission statement. What are they here to do? Why are they here? I have them work on that for an entire year, and then we revisit it again in a second retreat at the end of the year. I also have them write a letter to their future self. There are plenty of email packages that will help people do this. And there is research to show that people who connect with their future self tend to be more mindful, humble, ethical, and able to achieve long-term goals. And so these are very powerful exercises that get students to look deep inside themselves to understand who they are and why they're here. I want to wrap up with some learnings that I've gotten from this. One is, it was really interesting when I tried to get course credit for this, I got some pushback from the curriculum committee, and they actually said to me, "This seems more developmental than academic." And I laughed. I said, "Exactly, and we should do more of it." But that also means that it brings out a different role for the professor. And I found myself playing that role in a different way, where I'm no longer walking into the classroom, I'm in charge, this is my classroom, I'm going to bring knowledge to you. I'm more of a guide to put the students into a context in which they can examine their own purpose and calling and help others find theirs. So it's a different kind of role. And it's interesting because I have some colleagues who push back. They say, "I'm not ready to teach values in the classroom." And my answer is, you already are. In business school curriculum is totally embedded with values where, the purpose is to make money for the shareholder. Government has a limited role in the market. Efficiency is always good. Nature only has monetary value. All these things are embedded in the curriculum. And our students, in my opinion, are way ahead of us, and we're lagging. And so this course is designed to get ahead on that and help our students see the possibilities of who they can be as a leader going forward in their life. And I've had tremendous success. I'm doing my 3rd cohort next year, and the students are eating it up. So thank you very much to UN Prime for acknowledging this course. I think it's very important for awards like this to give a reward, because let's face it, the rewards for innovating in the classroom are very, very low, if not negative, if they distract from your job of doing research. So with that, I'll turn it over to the next winner. Thank you.
Andy, you are so inspiring. I can't think of anything better than to spend a weekend thinking about those topics that you get them to reflect on. So well done. Congratulations. On to our next winner, a team of 6. And I will only introduce Fernanda, who I've known for some time. I'm very excited as well that she is one of our management award winners. Over to you, Fernanda.
Thank you, Tima. Greetings, everyone, or boa tarde in Portuguese. We are deeply honored to accept this award. Thank you, Prime, for creating this category. It's very important to us. And I would like to quickly introduce our team because some of them are here and some are not. So Ricardo, together with Gabriela and myself, we are the teachers of the course. Mayara is the one who makes everything happen behind the scenes, together with Marcio, who is our local partner, and he lives in the Amazon forest and arranges everything from the moment we land there until we get back to São Paulo. And finally, Professor Julia, she is the Dean of our Global Affairs, and she's a sponsor of our course and in charge of partnerships with the business schools from our students. So we brought some images to illustrate our course, but I believe that I can say that on behalf of our team, we share the same feelings that led us to create this course. So growing up in Brazil, we were always surrounded by the vibrant ecosystems of our country. However, we also witnessed the pressing environmental challenges we face, such as deforestation, climate change, and a lot of social inequalities. These experiences instilled in us a profound sense of responsibility to protect our natural heritage and to promote sustainable practices. So as educators, we realize the immense potential of teaching to inspire the minds and hearts of future leaders. And this led us to incorporate sustainability into our course, not just as a subject, but as a guiding principle. And inspired by the philosophies of Paulo Freire, who championed education for freedom and emancipation, we envisioned a curriculum that goes beyond traditional teaching methods, fostering dialogue and experiential learning. So our course is called Sustainable Leadership, the Rainforest Perspective, and it is a manifestation of this vision. So it's offered to MBA students through the Global Network of Advanced Management, and we take students on a transformative journey into the heart of the Amazon rainforest. The course is divided in 3 weeks, an initial week of online interactions, a week immersed in the Amazon rainforest, and a final week of reflection and assignments. So if you could please change the slides, we brought some pictures to illustrate this.
During their time in the Amazon, students engage with a diverse array of leaders, indigenous, riverine, and women's cooperative leaders, who offer invaluable insights into alternative forms of leadership. This experience is not just about learning from textbooks, but immersing oneself in the environment, understanding the systemic impacts of decisions, and fostering a genuine dialogue with local communities. Next slide, please. And the forest, being in deep contact with nature, imparts lessons that go beyond what we can put into words. This is one of the core beliefs of our course. We believe that although scientific data guides us on what needs to be done, humans only take action when they are subjectively engaged with something. Once you leave the forest, breathe the forest, it becomes a part of you, and it is very difficult to remain indifferent. Next slide, please. Another particularly unique aspect of the course is the time spent on the boat, which serves as both our home and classroom for 5 days, and we also do not have internet signal over there. Living together in this confined space, students face the challenge of building and maintaining interpersonal relationships. This environment fosters teamwork, empathy, and the ability to navigate social dynamics, crucial skills for sustainable leadership. Next slide. Moreover, we embrace every aspect of the field experience as a learning opportunity, even the unforeseen challenges. Whether it's a sudden change in weather, logistical hiccups, or unexpected encounters, we turn these moments into teachable ones, demonstrating the resilience and adaptability required for sustainable leadership.
The impact of this course is profound. Students not only gain a deep understanding of sustainable development, but also build lifelong connections and networks that transcend geographical boundaries. These interactions and the friendships formed are among the most cherished outcomes of our course. If you could please stop sharing the slides, Shane, thank you. So to our fellow educators, we can offer this advice. Embrace the power of experiential learning. Sustainability education should not be confined to the classroom. Take your students into the real world, where they can witness firsthand the complexities and interconnections of our global challenges. Also, incorporate diverse perspectives into your teaching. By giving voice to local communities and marginalized groups, we enrich the learning experience and promote a more inclusive and equitable approach to leadership. Lastly, foster a culture of critical reflection. Encourage your students to question existing paradigms and envision transformative and radical solutions that truly incorporate what science is telling us. So in closing, I would like to extend my deepest gratitude to our dedicated team, our local partners in the Amazon, and the students who have embarked on this journey with us so far. So this award is a recognition of our collective efforts to inspire and nurture the next generation of sustainable leaders. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Fernanda and team. I have to say that with you taking your students into the community, into the forest jungle, and Andy taking his students into the forest, I think that really does say something about getting them out of the classroom and into a different world to experience a different part of themselves as well. So I love both of these. I'm inspired. So you're not just inspiring students, you're inspiring your colleagues. Congratulations again, Fernanda and team. The next speaker is in the accounting and finance category, Lucy Diala. I am so excited to hear how you are changing education.
Hi, everyone.
And Lucy, we don't quite see you, so.
Yes, can you stop sharing the video for a second? I need to, okay. And I need my video on, please.
Can you turn your own video on? Is that possible?
I don't think
Bottom
that's
left?
possible.
That would be very sad if we don't get to see you.
Okay.
There we go. Well done. Okay.
Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much for this award. My students, I would say that my students helped me to earn this award. They were very great participants in this journey. So I'm very excited about this. It's very important, especially to the accounting profession. And the innovation that we used in this class, this is the cost accounting class, as well as the managerial accounting class and the MBA level, is the absorption costing and variable costing. So these are two systems of accounting, and the focus was on how costing methods could influence sustainability strategies for inventory production. So I'm just going to go ahead to walk you through how I got through getting this done. So we have had a long process in the accounting world on the emphasis of integrating social responsibility into accounting pedagogy, right? So recently, the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, which we call the SEC, proposed new rules that would be requiring that publicly traded companies start to report on climate-related risks, right? So that would involve carbon emissions. It would involve strategies to mitigate climate risk. And for the way that we normally practice accounting, the way that we normally practice or putting our financial statements, we didn't typically have carbon emissions reporting. We didn't typically have sustainability reporting, but it's starting to happen. I'm going to say in the last decade or so, lots of companies started to incorporate it, and we weren't really teaching it in accounting until the SEC proposed the new rules in 2022. And so it became really critical for us as accounting professors to start to prepare our students for the future. Incidentally, the crop of students we have now, the Gen Zs, they're very focused on sustainability issues. We're finding in accounting where we're having a crisis of shortage, that when you have your course having some focus on sustainability, students are more interested. They tend to have more engagement. They tend to be more interested. They tend to want to know what we're talking about. So I found this integration really helpful for engaging my students. So I'm going to go to the next slide. So this particular innovation is related to the scenario where we have a company, like the company production of a product. So in this case, the product is on the batteries used for electric vehicles. Next slide. So the scenario here involves this company is a Davico company, and it operates in 3 plants across the United States. So in this scenario, the managers are having kind of a crisis of wanting to keep their market share, moving from one type of battery production to another because their competitors are going towards a different direction. And on the other hand, the company is also looking at a situation where the people they sell to would be reporting downstream emissions from suppliers such as themselves. And so it became critical for them to incorporate the UN's SDG goals in their strategy. And so the 2 goals that they found relevant to focus on is goal 12 and goal 13. So goal 12 is to ensure sustainable consumption and production patterns. Goal 13 is to take urgent action to combat climate change and its impacts. So something else I incorporated in this innovation was to have my students envision a scenario where the managers are given a discretion on their internal accounting reporting standards. And the 2 methods to consider is the variable costing method and the absorption costing method. Next slide, please. So students are asked to use the 2 approaches, the absorption costing approach and the variable costing approach, to prepare income statements given a set of production parameters, right? And so in the next slide, I'm going to show you the production parameters, but along with the accounting of the total cost and revenue, as well as the percentage as related to their performance, they're also asked to look at the waste out of units that are not sold when it comes to carbon emissions and when it comes to energy usage. And they're doing this with data analysis and by visualizing using charts and graphs. Next slide. So here is a look at the production data. I know that the digits are a little bit small, but I'm going to walk you through it real quick. The main thing is that the 3 plants have 10,000 units being produced each year. So it's a uniform thing for the 3 plants. But one of the plants only sells half of its units produced. The second plant sells very little of the units produced. And then finally, all of the one plant sells all of its units produced. So I do see some questions. I'm going to try to address the questions once I get through. So part of the data given also apart from your selling price and all of the things that go with the revenue is the carbon emissions usage as well as the energy usage. Next slide. And so once the students are able to look at the three systems and use the two accounting methods on the three plants, they come up with the three scenarios of what it looks like. If you look at the extreme top level where you have the Havana plant, you're going to see this is the plant where it's half and half. For all of the units produced, only half is sold. Using the two accounting systems, you have a flipped look where you have, using the absorption costing system, it looks like you have more profit. And using the variable costing system, it looks like you have less profit. At the exact same numbers, it's flipped for the two systems, even though the data is exactly the same. So the extreme part of this is the Merlin plant, where you have very little units.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Lucy. We will have to wrap up if you wouldn't mind.
Okay, that's fine.
Just a few more words.
Okay. So with this system, the students are able to have a full data, the data look at the costs and benefits as well as carbon emissions. And using this, I found really, really helpful for students because it was an integration of the data analysis, something that they're very comfortable with, and it allowed them to be able to express what it looks like for sustainability. So that ends my presentation.
Lucy, congratulations again. Well done. I love how you did the case study with 3 different scenarios with so much data. Get students to really recognize the value of sustainability. Nice. Our next winner is, and we've got a slide that's coming up. We've got 3 people who are here to represent the marketing group. I want to congratulate Kathleen, Marta, and Reka from Budapest, the University of Budapest in Hungary. Over to you.
Thank you. And by this award, we are celebrating a collaboration for the evolution of a course on corporate social responsibility for marketing students. And our team involves the lecturer Katalin and 2 of us, Marty and me, are coming from the Corvinus Science Shop. And it is a competence development unit of a higher education institution. And what I'm going to cover here is the aim and the supporting institution of this collaboration as a context of the course. Next slide, please. So we at the Science Shop promote science-society dialogue, focusing mainly on community-engaged learning. And this is an experiential, reflective pedagogy, very much like what Fernanda was described to us earlier, with hands-on activities embedded in the curriculum, offering co-learning and co-creation for the key stakeholders, students, lecturers, and community partners, as you see it on our tetrahedral model on the right. So the Science Shop collaboration entails support for the design or transformation of a course to embed community engagement. It also connects academics and the community partners. This is what we call matchmaking. And it is also providing a process support along the entire course process. Next slide, please.
So the corporate social responsibility course is the co-development of the Corvinus Science Shop and Media Educator in the last 6 years. So the course teaches students about sustainability, CSR, ESG from the corporate side. However, based on the examples and experiences from the corporate side, students' role is to think from the community partners side. So the main goal is that students prepare a CSR cooperation proposal for one company per group on behalf of the community partner that the partner can actually use when they are in contact with that company. As marketing students, they also suggest how to communicate these ideas when implementing the cooperation. So through this real-world problem solving, students could use their knowledge in practice and they work for and work with the local community. Next slide, please. So due to the content of the course, all SDGs are addressed at some level within the course. And the project-based collaboration with community partners reinforces the 4 of the SDGs because it improves the quality of education, reduces inequalities with collaborative work, makes communities more sustainable, and also builds partnerships. The association of each community partner in different semesters with the SDGs was also diverse, so that the specific SDGs were more pronounced during that semester. So over the course of 9 semesters, we worked with a total of 12 community partners. Next slide, please. So from community engaged course, educators, students, community partner, the university, and the companies could also benefit. So now I would highlight just the educator and student side. For me, by becoming more involved in the teaching process, I was able to create an interactive learning environment, enhancing both my teaching skills and professional experiences. So during the course, we can also measure the impact on the students, and that could form the basis for academic publications and research. For example, in one of our studies, which this figure should show, the changes we can identify in students' knowledge, attitude, skills, and behavior as a result of community engaged learning. So the research results also demonstrate the benefits of community engaged learning for students. And just one example, which you can see on the slide, that one student said, "It brought me closer to the particular social problem, and the personal visit was a very lasting experience for me. I think a lot about it." So next slide.
So how do we create the value with our work when we work as the Science Shop? We work with the lecturers and researchers, and we build on our reflective approach. This enables all of us to draw on our shared and lived experiences and to harvest these lessons learned on the way, and also to plan new partnerships and new ways to work together. So we build on these insights of what worked and what we could do different next time to engage partners and students more, and to embed partnership and engagement in a more meaningful way into our course and research work. And so how do we support our colleagues? For those who are open to advance their practice by embedding engagement into their work, we offer, besides our regular Science Shop activities, different skill building programs and introduce peer learning processes with reflection as a key component in an organized and facilitated way. This enables our lecturers and researchers to know more about each other's work, also to share their learning journeys, and to get to know more about how they can count on the Science Shop when they are developing their teaching and research practice with and for our communities. So next slide, please. And we're honored to be here and very, very grateful for all our partners who joined us in this process, our students and community partners, for the work and the learning that we've done together. Thank you all.
Thank you, Marta, Kathleen, and Reka. Congratulations. This notion of community-based learning, what I really loved about what you said, it's not just the students that are learning, that you also have this feedback loop. So you're learning, you're building partnerships with the community. Nice work. Congratulations. Last, but certainly not least, is Professor Bala, and he's in the operations and analytics category. And we get to hear about how he is moving pedagogy. Over to you.
Hello, everyone. This is Professor Bala. Can I go to next slide? Yeah, where is the trigger started? Impactful 5 training from PRME along with the Center for Social Sensitivity for Action. And this training really given me a very, very interesting concept about 5 impactful factors meaningful learning, active engagement, iteration, social interaction, and joy and well-being. This was really very interesting. And among that 5, can we go to next slide? There are 2 focus points for me. One is active engagement and second one is joyful learning. If the student is really engaged, then it leads to a better learning experience that leads to a responsible management graduate. So that was very, very important factor. And second one is joyful learning. How highly motivated student can come to class, and then long lasting learning concepts in memory. So these 2 things really in focus for me. And then next slide. So for this, I actually adapted few of things. One is say how to start the class, and then peer learning, specific examples of joyful learning, a role play I will tell you, and specific engagement activities that I want to, I'm going to play, I'm going to run in the class, and then some thoughts. Next slide. Yeah, so when to start, when I'm going to the class, I don't want to just open my PPT and then I start my class. I'll just put a question on the board. So for example, I'll just say, what is EWOM? What is electronics word of mouth? Or otherwise, I will tell some interesting question, and then that question triggers a lot of discussions among the students, and the discussions now led to my classroom content. For example, I can even tell that how Prime Minister Narendra Modi retained his voters, and that leads to the customer retention of my class actually. So this is the way that I can engage to start the class. Of course, there are some challenges. I might spend too much time on converging the topic to my concept, or otherwise sometimes it might be too much time to divert, but this is very, very important point to start the class. Next slide. When I see in the class, peer learning looks like very, very important. I mean, like students can learn from their friends very effectively. So what I will do is generally I'll divide the class into some 10 groups, and I'll give them some work in the sense I'll give them some goal, and then they have to work on the goal. This really creates very, very interesting learning environment, and then they ask to present at the end for just 3 minutes kind of thing. So this is peer learning experience is given me a very fantastic student experience. And of course, there are some challenges here as well. Sometimes it is not possible to finish every presentation in the class. And of course, there are some students who are free riders who do not contribute. But at the same time, this experience is really important. Next slide. And here I just wanted to highlight one of the best, I can say, engagement activity that I did. It is called a role play. Generally, role play will be there in some normal non-tech courses like marketing, management, or economics. But I thought of doing it in the my analytics class, where, for example, I give some roles like customer task, analytical models, what are the domains, what are the software, and what are the visualization. Here, what I used to do is I'll give the roles, and then they have to match with each of them. For example, what is the right customer task, and what is the right analytical model, and what is the domain it is suitable for, and what software we need to use, and what visualization technique we need to use. So at the end, they are going to find a better combination of all these things, and that really keeps a long-lasting memory in the student's mind. So this is one thing that I used to do in the class, and this really gives a lot of I can say long-lasting memory in terms of how to match different tasks in the customer analytics class. Next slide. Yeah, so other engagement activities, for example, I used to do something called poster competition. Here they have given a poster, and they have to do some activity on the poster. For example, I can tell that, okay, how to create an innovative product with a specific set of customers, how to create an innovative data model with specific constraints. Like that, I'll give a goal, and then they have to present it in the form of a poster. And of course, I used to do 3-minute pep talk. I'll give just 3 minutes time, and then they have to give a clear talk on a particular topic given to them. So that is a 3-minute pep talk. And then create your own product. This is also very important thing. Sometimes I used to give them some constraints of, okay, you have a data like this, and then you have to create your own product. what is the product that you will create. So that is also creates a lot of enthusiasm, and students engaged a lot in this class. And of course there are some game spoilers in this particular thing, and then of course scheduling your own teaching task might hit sometime, but these engagement activities given me a lot of satisfaction feeling, where students are more engaged in my class. Next slide. Yeah, and then other some thoughts what I feel like is experiential learning is very important, and this when the student experiences, then probably that has a lot of impact on his mind. And active engagement, one or other way you have to engage the students a lot in the class, and that is going to be very important. And we need to take support of simulations, case studies, and industry connects, and that will help us. And my next steps are, for example, I just wanted to innovate more pedagogical approaches in my other courses, and I want to collaborate with other domain faculties on this particular thing. So with this, next slide, I would like to thank PRME for for this award, and thanks one and all. Thank you.
Professor Bala, thank you. You're shattering my biases about operations and analytics, making it far more engaged and far more open-ended. So very nice. Once again, I want to congratulate the winners, and if they're still online, they can certainly turn on their camera again so we can see them and congratulate them. One final time, thank you again, congratulations again. And I just have one more point that I want to make, that there is an awards repository. And so the link should appear on the right side. All of these winners have generously shared some of the materials that they have. And so we can all learn from them and improve our own teaching. So thanks to everybody. Congratulations to everybody. And thanks for those of you who have joined us online. Have a super day, whatever time of day that you're in. Bye.